Yeah,
So
no,
it seems as though I was seeing something about you saying I have animosity towards Christianity, and then saying that I never talk about certain issues within Christianity. I'm not sure. I guess you wanted to talk about Christianity overall, though.
yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know, just a few things. I seem to always hear you cite the Torah when you talk about Christianity.
Are you referring to the Old Testament?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah, of
that's still
course.
part of Christianity.
No, it's not. The
Yeah, it
when
is.
no, can you tell me what part of it is Christianity?
The Ten Commandments,
The
the
Ten
story of
Commandments.
Noah's Ark.
No. The Ten Commandments were separated into three things.
Wait,
Uh,
the Old
Jesus,
Testament is relevant to Christianity.
yes, by mainly by two of the laws, because it was with Christianity, it was separated into three things,
Isn't
and one is ceremonial, one is moral, and the other is judicial.
wait? I thought that Jesus himself said that he wasn't here to or to overturn the law, but rather to fulfill the law.
Well, he only cited two of the actual commandments.
Wait, you know that the Old Testament is part of the fucking Bible and part of Christianity, dude.
Yes, well,
This isn't something to even
he,
like argue about. Like, yes, half of
absolutely
Christianity
it is.
comes from let's see, the 10 Commandments. I was raised being told the story of Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark. There's so much in the Old Testament that's used still within Christianity. The difference with the Torah is that they only follow the Old Testament. Christianity is the Old and New Testament combined.
No, maybe Catholicism, but as far as the New Testament goes, the only laws that Jesus ever spoke of was love your neighbor like yourself and love God with all your heart.
Jesus himself
Those,
said he came to fulfill the old law. There were allegedly prophecies in the Old Testament that predicted when Jesus was going to come. There are elements of the Old Testament that are still crucial to Christian theology. I genuinely have never heard this argument before because nobody who's done study on this is going to tell you that the Old Testament is not part of Christianity or is not relative or relatant. Relevant when it comes to Christianity.
only, sorry, something on my throat. There's only a few things that Jesus actually cites in the Old Testament.
Jesus doesn't need to, okay, wait. Jesus does not need to cite the Old Testament at all.
No, I know because
Christianity is the Old and New Testament combined. That is what Christianity is. Jews don't believe
absolutely
that
not.
Jesus was the Messiah, so they reject the New Testament.
No, when the veil was torn, when Jesus died, that's when the birth of Christianity happened.
Okay, and Christianity is the Old and New Testament combined, especially nowadays with the theology and whatnot.
Absolutely not. That's a common
Wait, no,
misunderstanding.
this is
But
not a common misunderstanding. It is crucial to Christian theology with both that it is the Old and New Testament combined. That is the Bible. That is the Word of God.
well, this right here, I don't know how we can agree on this. I'm pretty well versed in this. That is where Christianity was born of, was the death of Jesus. That's when the veil was torn. The temple of the holiest of holies. That's when we were able
It's
to
no, it's your the just look, is the Old Testament part of Christianity? The Christian Bible consists of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Is the Old Testament considered Christianity? The Old Testament, often abbreviated OT, is the first division of the Christian biblical canon. What is the Old Testament called in Christianity? The Hebrew Bible. Is Christianity the Old
exactly.
or New Testament? Together, the Old and the New Testament make up the Holy Bible. The Old Testament contains the sacred scriptures of the Jewish faith, while Christianity draws on both Old and New Testaments, interpreting the New Testament as the fulfillment of the prophecies of the Old.
Yes, and when the veil was torn, that's when Christianity was born.
Okay, I don't care when Christianity was born. What I care about is nowadays, modern day, current year, when you say Christianity, you are referring to a theology that is based on the Old and the New Testament. Because if you didn't have the Old Testament, you wouldn't have Jesus allegedly fulfilling the prophecies in the New Testament, and therefore you would be destroying aspects of the gospel. If you didn't have the Old Testament, there would be no original sin. There would be no narrative that all humans are born sinful and are therefore in need of a savior. Then the gospel becomes meaningless, essentially. There is no way in hell that you can tell me that the Old Testament is not part of Christianity.
But that's the whole thing is you're always citing the Torah, but you're never citing the books that are the prophecies of Jesus. Okay, two very different things.
I do, though. I bring up the Old Testament. I bring up the New Testament a lot also. I've read New Testament verses where they talk about slaves obey your masters even if they're harsh.
But the Old Testament is combined with the Torah, okay? And the prophecies are explained in the books that have nothing to do with the Torah. Those are the prophecies.
The meaning of Torah is often restricted to signify the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, also called the Law. These are the books traditionally ascribed to Moses, the recipient of the original revelation from God on Mount Sinai.
Exactly. Which were
compilation of the first books of the Hebrew Bible.
The 10 Commandments. That's where all that came from. Jesus
which
only
is also part of Christianity nowadays.
Well, see, the only thing that Jesus cited out of that whole thing was those 2 commandments.
Okay, I don't want to like hang up on you because it seems that you're trying to explain something in good faith here, but you're also just being delusional. Like, I recognize that the first 5 books of the Bible are considered the Torah. However, the Torah is combined with the entirety of the Hebrew Bible, and all of that is combined to make the basis for Christianity.
Okay, this is something that we'll just have to disagree or agree to disagree about. But the animosity towards the Bible, that's what I'd like to know about.
Okay, so in the Torah specifically, in the Torah, does it talk about or depict the same God of the Bible?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I couldn't hear you.
In the Torah specifically, not the Old Testament, but the Torah, the first 5 books, is that depicting the same God that is depicted in the Hebrew Bible?
I mean, technically, yeah. But...
Okay, so is it also true then that the same God that is depicted in the Torah, that is also part of Christianity, the God, not the Torah, has also said it was okay to have slaves?
Well, this is what Jesus said was these are I don't have the verse at hand. I wish I had the verse at hand. It's just not there. He said that the laws were inspired by God. He didn't say they were spoken to him by God. He said they were inspired.
So why would God inspire words in his own Bible that said you can have slaves?
Well, the New Testament says nothing about anything like that, or
this is not. No. Stop. That's not even true. There are plenty of verses in the New Testament. Specifically, 2 Peter has a verse that says, "Slaves obey your masters, even if they are harsh to you."
No. You're right. I was thinking about homosexuality for some reason.
Oh, okay. No worries. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get aggressive. I just have a lot of animosity towards Christianity.
And that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, but I'm walking you through why I have that animosity right now.
But your present day animosity.
Is it or is it not true that the God of the Bible has said it was okay to get slaves, according to the Bible.
Yeah, I will, I will grant you that. But
Okay.
can you grant me this, or can you explain to me this? Your like present day animosity towards it. Like, what is it? Because you talk about it a lot. I just don't understand your animosity towards
Like
Christians,
modern day
people who
Christianity stuff?
well, just modern day Christians, like today, Christians today. What is your animosity towards the faith, the people practicing it?
Well, there's different elements here. Is I have animosity towards the actual theology of Christianity. And then I also have animosity towards some Christians, depending on how they weaponize their theology to bludgeon other people, which is what we see with every available statistic on voting records and whatnot, that it's the white evangelical Christians that vote the most adamantly against gay people, and they are the least accepting group in the fucking country when it comes to gay people. They are even less accepting than American Muslims. So there's that factor, but that's ignoring the fact that the actual Bible, the biblical theology, is fucking terrible. And I've already tried to walk you through that with the slavery thing alone.
I've never really heard so much about. I don't really hear about people like Christians talking about all the things that you're talking about. Like that's
You
just
don't hear Christians talking about how important it is to preserve the traditional family.
well, of course, because it's so necessary.
And what does that mean, you think? What is the traditional family?
The well, obviously, you're not going to like that because
It's the
you
one
think
man,
Christians
one woman
have the.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so if they are trying to preserve that, then doesn't that mean that in doing so, it is going to be at the exclusion of gay people having children or having families?
Well, every single Christian I know obviously wants to, reproduce and all that, but they don't they don't like discourage, living your life and all that.
Wait, you
But
don't think they discourage living your they don't you hold on.
I
Do
go
you or
to a
do you not
non
accept the fact that white evangelicals are the least accepting group in America when it comes to gay people?
well, evangelicals. Yeah, I go to a non-denominational
I did
church.
too, and a lot of those people are evangelicals, my dude. They're like the
Okay,
fundamentalist types.
well, those people are fucking retards, dude.
But those are the people you surround yourself with at your church. I was in a quote unquote non-denominational church also, and a lot of those people were fundamentalist Christians, which are yes, evangelicals.
See, I everybody around me, the church I go to is great. It's the reason I have a problem with people, with the animosity towards it, is because the charity that's given is always by them. It's always used to help the community, and I don't see anybody around there. I live in a I live in a pretty small town, and everything to help anybody out is all done by Christians out here. So I guess maybe this is something we'll have to disagree about
Well, no,
because
I hold on. Like Americans, overall Muslims are now more accepting of homosexuality. The more important your religion is, the more likely it seems you are to disprove. Or wait, hold on. Oh, that's the change. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong stat. Protestant. Okay. Let me see. White evangelical Christian remained the least accepting. The group's views were comparable to those of Muslim Americans in 2007, with 23% of white evangelical Christians saying homosexuality should be accepted by society. Today, only 34% say the same. It's also worth highlighting that about 80% of white evangelicals who voted backed Trump. So that's part of the problem, is that Christians are contributing to negative outcomes in this country for already oppressed minorities based on nothing except this weird fucking breeder fetish that, oh, well, if you're a Christian, we want to preserve the traditional family, man. Which, again, don't know why that's so important to them, because gay people can also be married and have children, and that's just as fine for the kid. So there's that problem. And then when you say, well, they give to charity a lot, what about the charity stuff? I'm not going to deny that. Sure. But why do you think that they give more to charity? Do you think it has anything to do with their actual belief in God?
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't. It has everything to do with being in a community setting. So if you are in a setting with other people that are donating, you yourself are also more likely to donate. It's actually been demonstrated that people who are not Christians donate more if they attend church regularly than those who are Christians but don't regularly attend church. So it actually has nothing to do with belief in God that makes you more charitable, and everything to do with you just being in a group or in a community.
Okay, why would you go to church if you're not Christian?
Because you could go to church with your family, because maybe you're going to church for a certain event. Maybe you're not a Christian yourself, but your wife is, so you want to go to be respectful. I don't know.
Yeah, that argument sounds a little flawed right there.
Is there a reason why you think that?
I think I just said why going to church, if you're going with your wife or whatever, your wife is still giving, right? Going with a friend, they're still giving. I would guess that the person going with the Christian would give more
It's
than
social ties. I just sent you this from Time magazine. It's social ties, not religion, that makes the faithful give to charity. A new report, blah, 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 details the many ways that religion and the charitable sector are intertwined. Based on major national survey, this report finds that 3/4 of all household charitable giving goes to organizations that have religious ties. Not only do Americans give generously to charities with religious affiliations, but most religious Americans are also the most charitable. Okay.
okay.
So let's see. They sought to understand why. The answer might surprise you. We initially thought that religious beliefs must foster a sense of charity, whether inspiration from biblical stories like the Good Samaritan or perhaps a fear of God's judgment for not acting charitably. However, we find no evidence linking people's theological beliefs and their rate of giving, which also helps to explain why the, quote, religion effect varies little across different religions. The rates for charitable giving, according to the Jumpstart survey, 61% of black Protestant, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Rather than the religious beliefs, we found that the secret ingredient for charitable giving among religious Americans is the social network formed within religious congregations. The more friends someone has within a religious congregation, the more likely that person is to give time, money, or both to charitable causes. In fact, even non-religious people who have friends within a religious congregation, typically because their spouse is a believer, are highly charitable, more so than strong believers who have few social ties. So it has nothing to do with your belief in God. Every religious person across the board donates to charity. Am I okay right now? Charity, roughly the same, at roughly the same rates. And then we know that people who don't believe but still attend church because their spouse or whatnot are highly charitable as compared to actual believers who don't have those same social ties.
This is, this is something that once again I have to say we'll have to disagree too. Let me finish, because I'm saying this from a subjective point of view. I'm talking about like my small town and all that. So obviously it could be different from out here. My point of view comes from my small town, you know. So which is what I said in the chat was it's my view is subjective. Obviously I can't fight objective, you know, objective facts. I don't think anybody, when it comes down to it, can, you know.
I mean, yeah, I get that you might have different personal experiences, and that's fine, but it's not fair for you to say, why do you have the animosity towards Christianity, Hunter, when they give a lot to charity? Because giving to charity is good, but it has nothing to do with the actual Christianity part.
Okay, well, you're doing a straw man right there, dude. is that wasn't my only thing.
Well, that was one of what the things you said, and that's what I was responding to.
Yeah, but you're funneling it down into one small thing, you know. And once again, there's a few things I brought up. Some of them, obviously, we have to have all the books in front of us, and other things, like I said, are subjective, which was what I said in the chat right from the beginning. You know, so I mean, all I can do is argue what I said I could argue in the chat, and all I did was ask you what what's the animosity towards it. So it wasn't attacking you. It was asking a question.
Um, okay, yeah, I'm not saying you're necessarily. Um, I'm sorry, I'm looking at this thing as well. So 93% of evangelical Protestants say that it should be discouraged, and they are those that believe in God and are absolutely certain. So you can literally see that the more certain somebody becomes in their Christianity, the less likely they are to accept gay people, according to this chart right here. Like,
You're talking evangelicals, though. Like I said, all I know is
Protestants,
non-denominational.
evangelical Protestants. Like, I'm pretty sure we would be considered Protestants to a degree.
Yeah, I
88% says should be discouraged, and they are the people who say that their religion is very important to them. They scored the highest when it comes to not accepting gay people. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, if we're saying
absolutely,
if we're saying the
absolutely. Like I said,
Protestants,
all I wanted to do was ask. You know, isn't it right to scrutinize? That's the only way you learn, right?
okay, actually, yeah, we would be considered a Protestant. Yeah, I would have been Protestant growing up because I was non-denominational. Western Christian churches that are separate from the Roman Catholic Church and follow the principles of the Reformation, including the Baptist, Presbyterian, Lutheran churches. Yeah, I would say some of that is pretty accurate.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
like
So
I
that's
said,
why I
is
have
it, is
animosity.
it
Do you understand why I have animosity towards Christianity? Because it supports slavery, it leads to negative outcomes for gay people, and all the good that is allegedly done in the name of Christianity can just be disregarded because it's not done because of Christianity, and it can be achieved equally under secular means as well.
well, once again, in my small town, that doesn't apply.
Yeah, but that
So
doesn't matter. Your
no,
small
but
town, no, what
listen,
happens in your small town is
all,
very insignificant as opposed to
I
what
know,
these statistics
listen,
say.
did you not hear what I said earlier though? All I'm doing is scrutinizing what you said. There's nothing
Yeah, but
wrong
you're
with that.
scrutinizing it poorly because you saying, "Oh, well, my town isn't like this." I don't care. It doesn't
You
matter.
know what? Scrutinizing is just trying to dig deeper for the facts. It's not it's not like making a claim or anything. Scrutinizing is just trying to figure it out.
And I'm trying to explain it to you. I'm trying to help
Exactly,
you figure this out.
and that's all I was asking for.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean that's one of the or a couple of the many reasons why I have such significant animosity directed towards Christianity. We're not even getting into the point of the irrational type of thought, the way in which faith is like this super fucking important thing, which is really ridiculous. The entire gospel story is completely ridiculous. I mean, that's just a couple also. So, yeah.
Well, what are your views on faith and belief? Like that's
Well,
an often
what do you mean when you say faith?
faith is, you know, putting your trust in something even though you may not believe it,
So
you
why
know?
should you? How do you know whether or not you should trust something?
Well, how hard is it? Because people always talk about this sky man, right? And somebody may not believe in it, but the Christianity, it's you're gonna try and you're gonna put your faith in it. I just can't see a happy life with without something there.
Faith versus trust. Let's see. What's the difference? They have similar meanings. One difference is grammatical. In Scripture, faith is defined as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In other words, faith involves trusting in something you cannot explicitly prove. Okay, wow, thank you, gotquestions.org from Christian website. Perfect. So this is the exact problem that I have, is you are putting trust into something that cannot be proven. So therefore, it is by definition illogical and arguably irrational also. Because now you're saying, well, I can't prove that a God exists, and I don't really know, but I'm just going to decide that I'm going to believe this thing and, hope for the best. Hopefully I won't get sent to hell for not believing, which is another major issue with Christianity, which is God requires you have belief in order to obtain salvation, yet God has also not made his presence adequately known for us to rationally believe in him.
Okay, but we put our belief and our faith in plenty of things that everybody thinks is certain, especially science.
Okay, like what?
There's only,
What do we put our faith in?
Okay, well, there's only a few things in science that are considered laws. Okay?
So
Laws are objective facts. Okay, everything else, mathematics, all that shit. There's almost no laws almost, and mathematics and all that, science in general.
That's not faith in math or science. There are scientific theories also, which again, theories doesn't sound very substantial, but in the scientific context, it is. That means it's been tested and proven reliable over and over and over again. When it comes to science, hold on, wait. When it comes to science, we do not have to have faith in science because I don't have faith in something that I cannot prove. I can, and I will, and it already has been proven that the scientific method is the best means by which we can arrive at rational conclusions within the physical world.
Exactly. But that's the whole thing.
That's not faith. That's not faith.
Think about medical doctors. Why do you think they call it practicing medicine?
Wait.
Wait.
That's not faith. None of this is faith. I don't have faith in a doctor.
Because you're putting your faith in a doctor that is practicing medicine.
Wait, when they say they're practicing, what that means is that they're currently like working as a doctor. It doesn't mean that they're literally like practicing, like not fully trained or something.
No, it doesn't matter because you'll never get to the level of knowing absolutely everything.
Yeah, so because nobody knows anything absolutely certain. You're right. But I don't have faith in my doctor. I have proof that there is such a thing as science and medical literature, and I have proof that doctors have the best available technology and medicines, and I also have proof based on looking at other patients treated by that doctor that this person is someone who is reliable, has done these types of procedures before, and seems to be generally trustworthy. That's all proof. None of that is faith.
A doctor is, in a way, a scientist. They're constantly learning something new.
Yeah, because we go based on proof, not based on faith.
Because they are practicing medicine. That's the whole point.
Wait, okay. Medical stuff, the scientific method, it has predictive power also. Like, we're able to predict things that are going to happen based on our current knowledge. That is also a level of evidence and proof that doesn't require faith. Well, faith is trusting in something you cannot explicitly prove. I can prove that my doctor is a certified doctor, has treated people in the past, and also, based on my experience with that doctor, is generally reliable.
Exactly. So you put your faith in that doctor. Fact of the matter is the doctor doesn't...
You can't prove any of this with God.
I'm just putting it as a parallel to the whole thing, dude.
It's the worst parallel I've ever heard in my fucking life. Because everybody tries to pull this card and say, oh, well, you put faith in the scientists or whatever. No, none of this is or faith. This is all based on proof, evidence, and predictive power.
Well, dude, I mean, don't do that shit with me. Don't try and play the making fun of me shit, dude. I'm actually trying to talk with you and shit. I'm not making fun of you,
I'm not making fun of you. It's just, it's frustrating when I hear, and I wasn't even saying you necessarily. It's just frustrating when I've heard the same argument like a million times.
What, as far as faith and science and shit? I've never
Yes.
heard that with
I
you
don't know where
anyway.
you've been, man. That is like the most common go-to response with the faith thing. And then there will be other times too. They'll say something like, "Well, you have faith that your car is going to work. You don't know exactly that your car is going to work, right? But you have faith." And that's kind of maybe a little bit closer to a parallel. But even in that case, there's two things. Is one, we usually base our decisions on inference and induction and deductions. And since we know that my car worked yesterday and I parked my car on the street when I got out of my car last night, that it's very likely, especially based on my previous experiences, that my car will still be there in the morning and will also start and drive me to work. So that isn't even entirely faith because, again, you have a level of proof there. And also, I'm okay with certain aspects of faith. If my wife tells me that she made cookies and I can't smell cookies and I don't see any cookies, then sure, I will have faith that my wife is telling the truth. But when it comes to non-consequential claims like that, I don't care about having faith. It's the problem when you say you need to have faith in an all-knowing, all-powerful God, and if you don't, you will be eternally punished.
You know that, but that's the whole thing with that is that's you, you know. I mean, what's wrong with that? You want to talk about faith and all that. I'm a mechanic, so in a way, I'm a scientist. You know, uh, somebody putting their faith that their car will work is, you know, they're trusting in me. But there's one thing I'm practicing, but it's the laws of thermodynamics. You know, the laws, unobjectable facts.
Okay.
But I mean, once again, we're just gonna circle jerk. I have to get back to work. I love your shit, dude.
All right. Well,
And
sorry, I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I just, I have a lot of animosity towards Christianity. So
exactly. And like I said, all I was trying to do was scrutinize it, and there's nothing wrong with that, man.
you're right. And I hope to see you back in chat too.
Absolutely, man. You have a good day.
See you.